Take me as I am or get it right here. Easy as ABC.
Mic drop.
Yep.
When I stopped competing, there was this identity crisis of who am I if not an athlete? My identity had been defined.
Being multifaceted, I think, is the kind of way I would see it. Like, these are all parts of my identity.
Hey everyone, Jamie here. We're gonna try something different. We've now interviewed over 350 exceptional women athletes from over 55 countries around the world. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mash up conversation. Let's jump in.
The eyes of the world are on 25-year-old Semenya, and she runs away and wins it brilliantly. She has destroyed them in the last 200 metres.
Well, that smashes the world list by almost 2 seconds.
Hi guys, I'm Semenya, 2 times Olympic champion, 3 times world champion over 800-meter women. And yeah, for me as a woman to another, I'll say, look, let's stop, pretending, or let's stop allowing people to give us a view of an opinion of how a woman should look like. We are different, and yeah, we are born with our differences. So do you as other individual. You have your own differences, you have all those things. And that shouldn't, separate us as women. We cannot draw a line to say, because you are black, I am white, you have muscles, you have a deep voice, you are tall. You see, the minute you start, rolling a carpet, for those differences, it becomes a problem. You start talking about, I'm a first, black woman, or I'm a first white. Why does it have to be about that? And you look into men's sports, there are no questions like that. You get what I'm saying? So why only in women's sports we need to start differentiating, the differences that we have in our bodies? Take me as I am or get it right here. Easy as ABC.
Mic drop.
Yep. Drop it.
Shannon Rowbury of the United States shows world-class form and grace.
You never want to leave it to chance like that, so I made it up to 5th and moving on to the finals, so I'm very pleased.
My name is Shannon Rowbury. I'm a 3-time Olympian in track and field, women's 1500, and an Olympic bronze medalist in that event. When I stopped competing, there was this identity crisis of who am I if not an athlete? My identity had been defined. I started running at 14, so my identity had been defined for so long by what I did. And that space from sport allowed me to really reflect on what it was that I loved about running. And ultimately, it was, I would say, 2 main things. From a personal standpoint, the opportunity to move my body, clear my thoughts. I say I meditate through movement. And so my runs when I'm alone are that chance for me to really kind of come into myself. And then on the other aspect, the community of running, that was the other part that really drew me in. When I was postpartum with my second son, I started working with the San Francisco State team. In fact, I'd started working with them prior to pregnancy, but it was those people who showed up every day, not because they had a scholarship, most of them didn't, not because they were paid, not for any reason other than they loved the sport, they loved being together, and they wanted to see how they could improve themselves and go after goals. And for me, the running community is an incredible collection of eclectic people, but we're all united by this desire to challenge ourselves for better. And I don't know what's not to love about that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, this is a really fantastic play. One of the favorites for the medals in Paris as well, and this year in the World Championships.
My name is Claire Taggart. I live in Northern Ireland, but I compete for the United Kingdom, and my sport is boccia. So there's the part of me that is a woman, and there's a part of me that is a woman who is a disabled athlete at elite level. And it's like being multifaceted, I think, is the kind of way I would see it. Like, these are all parts of my identity. And they both challenge me in ways that I didn't expect. So until recently, until after the Paralympics in Tokyo, men and women in boccia competed together. It was a mixed classification, but after Tokyo, it's now gone to male only, female only. And I think for me, and for other women in the sport, we really have our chance to show what we can do, show how we can compete with the best of them. So I think that that's a really good thing. And obviously being a disabled person, again, I don't know what it's like in America or any other country. It's really challenging in the UK, and that's only speaking from my experience. And I guess without boccia, I wouldn't know how to do a lot of things in my life, because whenever you're either diagnosed with a disability, you develop a disability, or you're born with a disability. There's from my experience, there's no guidebook. Nobody hands you a guidebook. This is how to do this. This is how to get that. These are the people to reach out to. You have to do a lot of that legwork, pardon the pun, on your own and with your family.
Thanks for joining us. If you like what you're hearing, please leave us a positive review. If you want to impact the future stories we tell, take our community survey in the notes section of this podcast or in the YouTube links. We want to hear from you. Stay tuned for our next episode. If you're not following the Flame Bearers channel, covering resilient women Olympians and Paralympians, hearing about their struggles, hopes, and triumphs, you don't know what you're missing. Subscribe and watch new episodes of Flame Bearers now.